Hi everyone, my name is Kate and my topic is physician-assisted suicide. Now the topic is rather complex because of all of the moral, ethical, social, religious, and practical arguments that can be made. In my last speech, I highlighted the main stakeholders, which were the patient, the doctor, family and friends of the patient, the government, and taxpayers. And because so many people are involved, it's really difficult to come up with kind of like a clear-cut, black and white solution that's going to be able to account for all of the stakeholders' arguments and viewpoints and beliefs. Physician-assisted suicide is the concept that someone can make an end-of-life decision that will allow them to die with dignity in a painless way. Dignitas is a Swiss nonprofit organization that allows people to travel across the world and come to their facilities in Switzerland and be able to make an end-of-life decision with a practicing physician. From 1998, when they opened, to 2009, they had 1,041 patients across 29 countries come to their facilities to end their lives. 13 of those patients were from the United States. Now, you can't just walk in there and be like, all right, let's do this. You have to come in and submit medical documentation of your diagnosis and show that it is life-threatening and that you don't have more than 6 months left to live. You have to show proof of your prior treatments, write a letter explaining why you want to die with dignity. You also have to be looked at by one of Dignitas physicians, and then a second consulting physician to just check their work. And then you also have to be told all of your other treatment options or your other options. Now, not everyone is obviously going to agree with assisted suicide. One of the main beliefs among components is that assisted suicide is murder, and that can stem from either religious beliefs or other moral contingencies. A moral contingency is the concept that most of our moral beliefs come from birth or childhood upbringing, whether that be from your parents, teachers, or other social influences. So for example, I was raised in a Roman Catholic household, so I was taught that murder was a sin. I was also taught that suicide and murder were synonymous, so whether you killed yourself or you killed someone else, you were going to hell. And whether opponents view assisted suicide as murder or suicide, it's going against their contingency beliefs, which makes it unethical in their viewpoint. Because contingency beliefs originated from upbringing, they're going to vary from person to person based on different circumstances or exposure to very different influences, which calls into question whether my contingency beliefs would be the same if I was brought up in a different circumstance. And it also points out that my contingency beliefs are going to be different than every person who's watching this right now. Because the debate involves religion and other controversial topics, it's become extremely taboo. It makes the list of things that you wouldn't want to bring up at the dinner table if you were sitting with your grandma, right alongside politics and sex. But just because we aren't talking about it doesn't mean that it's not happening. Like I mentioned previously, just within 12 years, 1,041 patients went to Switzerland to have assisted suicide treatments, and it's legal in way more places than just Switzerland, and it's definitely happening in the United States, whether it's legal or not. We must, as a global society, alter our societal norms to implement legislation that fosters free choice in regard to end-of-life decisions. For example, my societal norms and my contingency beliefs have definitely changed from my Roman Catholic upbringing to now, where I view that it should be legal, that everyone should be able to make an end-of-life decision if they are presented with a terminal illness. In order to initiate legislative change, we must first focus on changing our societal beliefs on the topic, or else there will be no advocacy and no pressure for change. Determinism can be defined as the view that everything that occurs does so as a result of a set of causes that, taken together, necessitate the outcome. We must use this definition of determinism to create legislative change. The set of causes will be our advocacy, and the outcome will be a widely accepted legislation of physician-assisted suicide. With the 2020 election coming up in November, it's crucial to evaluate your own morals when voting. Before you vote, you need to see if the candidate that you are voting for will implement the changes that you are looking for and the issues that are important to you, or if they are just going to remain untouched. Several states, including Alaska, Arizona, and Florida, are looking to create safeguard statutes in November. I did not mention South Carolina because it is not on the list. South Carolina is rather conservative in their beliefs, but I believe that if we have enough advocacy, we will be able to create change and create legislation that protects death with dignity. Thank you.